The 6 paintings that I have on show here fall into two streams of work, I should say, 2 forms of investigation. The still lifes and this portrait are all works from life. My language is expressive and it's emotional, and it is to do with colour. All the work is underpinned by drawing, particularly life drawing. And I work quite quickly. The paintings are, and I respond a lot to colour, and basically I'm not looking for a polished, finished product, but something that expresses how I feel about what I see. This painting, all of the paintings to some degree have personal meaning. This painting is basically about the towel, and it was a towel that I found in my dad's flat when he died, and I somehow wanted to paint it, but to make a picture, to make it more interesting, I included this still life. At the time, the tulips were dying, and they kept flopping, and I had to keep reviving them. So when I'm working, I try to let the painting speak back to me, and rather than try and capture a really accurate painting of a tulip, I left in the marks where they had been, and it helped to contrast against the staticness of the towel. The fruit across here, basically, for pictorial reasons, adds interest and colour and will also take your eye across the painting. The other strand of investigation, for want of a better word, about my work was these 2 paintings are not made from life, they're from photographs, and they are to do with my heritage, being a 2nd generation Irish woman, and I wanted to investigate my heritage through my work, and I decided to look at women as a starting point, and this painting here is very personal. It's actually a painting of my aunt when she was probably about 15. She was my dad's sister, and she came from, they came from Connemara, living in a very small village, and she was never very well. And I never got to meet her. She died when she was 19, and this was the only, this painting was taken from the only surviving photograph of her. And I wanted to memorialise her, because had she lived now, she died, she had brittle bones, maybe lack of diet, definitely the rudimentary health service in Ireland, or lack of health service in Ireland. And she probably would have lived now and gone on to live a healthy life. but that was not available to her. She died in, I think, a care home or a small hospital run by nuns in Ireland at the time. This is from a black and white photograph of a woman around about the turn of the last century, who, an Irish woman who was used to collect seaweed and sell it. It was used for fertiliser, for putting in stews. It's very, very nutritious. And I saw this photograph and I just felt very, very moved by it. And I decided that I wanted to memorialise her, because so many of these people that worked on the land lived their lives not able to be immortalised in painting, and I wanted to just bring that kind of humanity to these works and remember that and particularly the way that we are moving further and further away from the land in this dawn of a digital age, that to remember that, you know, the physicality and just the very fundamental hand-to-mouth way that people would survive. And so I decided that I wanted to paint this. And so I didn't want it to be a painting that looked realistic, totally realistic. So I left in construction lines to show that it is a painting, and not to hide that it comes from a photograph, that it is anything more than what it is. But I also felt that some of these lines, am I talking to you? Some of these lines, like particularly these diagonals here, actually hold her into the canvas, and that they have a visual contribution to make to the painting. And well, that I think that pretty much sums me up, really, as being a kind of gestural, expressive, emotional painter, but always being aware of the drawing, that it has to be believable, whatever you do, and that's it.